Oh, I think I might be live. So, as we're getting started, I think we're going to talk about the healing power of dance. All right, so I'm going to turn off my music. I hate to do it, but let's go ahead and turn it off. Okay, hello friends. I hope you can hear me. It just started. The live just started. So I'm hoping, you guys are joining, so it must be good to go. Can I get a heart or a something to say, yes, I can hear you? Somebody send me a heart. Anyway, I'm going to assume we're good to go. The healing power of dance. Good. I see a heart. Whoever just sent that, thank you. You can hear me. Amazing. All right, I love you guys. Thank you for being here. Okay, show of hands, obviously I can't see you. Who feels like they can't dance? Who has wounds or trauma around dancing? Me, can you see me? Can you see my hand? And if you're watching right now and you're the same, then I understand, I get it. And it's funny, I wrote a post yesterday, a story about somebody from my ecstatic dance community who sent me a message that said that they just really love seeing me dance. They love dancing with me and my energy, and they love seeing me shine on the dance floor. And I wrote a story because it made me really happy after a lifetime trauma of feeling like a horrible dancer, feeling like being called stick lady, and just feeling like I didn't know how to express myself or move my body on the dance floor. That felt really powerful to get that message from a friend. And so I shared it, but I found it so interesting because I wrote a story that I then deleted, where the story was I'm not a good dancer. I'm not a great dancer, but this is what I do to help myself feel better. It was informational, and I was hoping it was a helpful post, but I realized I'm taking that down because that just doesn't feel good to myself or to anybody watching or reading that post to say, oh, I'm not a good dancer. Because truth be told, I truly believe that everybody is a natural born dancer. I believe that everybody is a good. What does good even mean? But we're all dancers. We just need to shed some of the inhibitions and layers that keep us from feeling like a good dancer. So I want to talk about, first of all, what dance even is to me, why it's so healing, and also how it can help your pelvic health. So that's what I want to talk about today. And then I thought we could also do a little bit of just a little tiny dance move together with our hands. Come on, we can all do that. So let's see, what dance even is to me. So I think the reason I felt like such a bad dancer growing up is I was very contained. I was very inhibited, and I felt very embarrassed about my body and how I looked and how I moved. And I didn't want to be seen as I felt it was bad to be sensual or to be seen as sexy. And so I really tried to hold myself in because I felt like anytime you moved your hips, especially, that was bad. You're not supposed to do that. That's very, very bad. That's just, I honestly don't even really know where that came from in my upbringing, but it came from somewhere, some messaging, so that it was bad to move your body or to have other people look at you. And so I felt very inhibited. And I never danced. I never did. And when I did try, I was, I felt silly, or I even was actually made fun of. So, that's hard. That's hard. But the other thing that happened to me is I tried to be part of this dance team once, and I will never forget this. I went and I tried to learn this dance. It was a choreographed routine, and I tried to learn this dance, and I went up onto the stage to do the performing part where you had to perform to try out, and I completely blanked. I forgot everything. I forgot all of the moves. I stood there like a deer in the headlights, which is my go-to response. I go into freeze mode very easily. That's just how I react. If something scares me, I freeze. I don't jump. I freeze. So I went into freeze mode. I was freaked out. And obviously I did not make that dance team. The tryout did not go well. So I have all of these ingrained kind of traumas around dancing that I've dealt with for the last many years, just minor little traumas, but they're there. And also, I had this impression or feeling that dance meant choreography, that dance meant learning specific moves and remembering them and doing them really well, like doing them in this certain way and looking a certain way when you do them. And to be perfectly honest with you, although I think that's beautiful, and that is absolutely dance. Obviously that's dance. But I just want to argue for the fact that there's also this whole other side of dance that people who maybe aren't the best at learning choreography, who aren't the best at remembering certain moves or doing them a certain way or being very crisp and precise with movements, I want to argue for the fact that there's a whole nother type of dance that is so healing and so therapeutic, and anybody can do it. And I don't care if you are saying, I don't have, I have very limited mobility, or I have arthritis, or I have pelvic floor issues. I want to argue that anybody can do it, even if you're just moving your eyes around or just moving your fingers. You're dancing. If you are feeling the music and letting it move you. And that is the key. This is not about structured choreography or dance moves. I can't do that. And beautiful for anyone who can. Amazing. It's just that's not what I'm talking about today. But the healing power of this type of unstructured, non-linear dance is something I've actually been talking about for a long time. For anyone who's been with me for the 12 years, 10, however long I've been doing this stuff online, I released a course called The Circle Solution many years ago. The Circle Solution is all about hip circles, non-linear movement, getting out of the rut of straight plane, rock, robot exercise movement, and doing hip circles to help your pelvic floor and help your low back. Because I had so many people who would completely relieve their back pain, their sciatica, and help their pelvic floor issues and feel more sensual, more sexual, all of these things when they did my hip circles. And so for me, again, I was calling it, the power of nonlinear movement, the power of this movement for your physical body and health years ago. I think that course came out 8 years ago. I mean, nobody was doing online courses when I put this course out. I didn't know what I was doing. I just figured it out. And I want to send big gratitude to anyone who owns the Circle Solution and still has it, because I've come a long way in course creation since then. But it is still a great course, and I really enjoyed creating it, and it's a beautiful course. But it's more about the physical body and those therapeutic benefits, which are there. Absolutely. But the other aspect that I want to bring in is the mental and emotional healing benefits of flowing movement and unstructured, nonlinear, in-the-moment movement. Because I was feeling this morning as my husband and I were having coffee and just talking about the world. We don't spend too much time on the news because it's really hard. It's hard to see. But of course, we're up to date on big world events, and we are up to date in our local events, and there's lots of forest fires in our local area. There's forest fire in my dear friend who's in Colorado. She has fires. She had a picture in Instagram of somebody, like a firefighter, on her porch fighting fires across the way. And I felt my body as I was reading about her and I was thinking about our fires. And I know fires are just a tiny blip in the screen of world events and massive cultural problems and issues that are going on in this world. But it's what we were thinking about this morning, was fires. And then I read about the fires in Maui and seeing the fires burning Maui. And I just felt my body go, oh. And I was thinking about the banyan trees in Maui, and I felt myself just tightening up and getting so rigid and so stiff in my body as I was thinking about this sadness of these things and just the feeling of powerlessness that I tend to feel when I think about some of these big world issues that I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do about it. And it makes me very, very stiff. And then on top of that, if you're somebody who has a health challenge or a pelvic health issue that's all day long giving you often little micro stressors of, oh my gosh, this health challenge, how can I make it better? How can I feel better? I want to feel better. Some micro stressors all day long. And then if you have stresses at home, at work, in your family, in your relationship, etc., micro stressors all day long, and they make us rigid and stiff. And the thing is that physically our bodies are made up of, the statistics range from 60 to 80%. So let's say 70-some% water. Our fascia is mostly water. The tissues in our body are water. Our blood has water. Like, we're watery beings. And if we spend our time stiff because we're physically sitting or physically going on walks or going on runs, or just tight because we're like stressed and we're anxious and we're, like all of these feelings make us tighten up and become more rigid. We are water. We are water. Our bodies are water. They're meant to flow. They're meant to move in different ways. They're not meant to be like this. Water flows. So if you literally embody water and the feeling of water, how it moves and flows, when water isn't flowing, it's ice, right? We don't want to be ice. We want to be water. And so that on an emotional and kind of energetic and spiritual level, and also physical, that's another reason, another argument for the power of these non-linear, out of the rut of straight plane movements, to get out of that and to flow in whatever way feels good to you. And it takes time to get into that because we're not trained. We're in my culture that I grew up in, this wasn't really how we were trained to move, because back to what I was saying at the beginning, if you move your body in weird ways, you're going to get attention. And who wants that? That's scary, scary, scary. That's cancel culture. You're going to be the crazy person on the street, or you're going to, you think you're going to be laughed at or whatever. But the thing is, especially when you're in the privacy of your home, no one's laughing at you. And even when you're out and about, honestly, we tend to think people are looking at us or caring more than they are. Everyone is focused, for the most part, on themselves. And so it's like getting out of that, shedding the layers of these insecurities and fears about how we look and when we're moving is step one. And then just practicing some of these more fluid movements that are not from a book. They're not from, Dr. Bree told me to do this exercise and so I'm doing it, or I'm going to follow this YouTube video that shows me the exact movement strategies for this dance fluid thing. Oh, Bree said to move my hand like this, so I'm going to copy her. No, this is about you doing your own thing. It's actually a struggle I've had. I think many of you know that I create YouTube videos, and I've struggled lately with being like, gosh, by me creating all these YouTube videos, it's implying that there's like one way to do things, that there's one way to move your body, that this is the way, this exercise routine is the way, and that's just not true. The key is to practice in small amounts in private when you feel really safe, maybe even with your eyes closed, because sometimes we even feel unsafe with ourselves, in fact, many times. So closing your eyes can really bring you inward. And put on a good song and just move your body. Because as a person, me, who's constantly in my head and constantly, I'm very type A, like I want to get stuff done. I have big dreams, big goals, big plans. And so I'm always doing things. Like I am always doing things. And the power of dance, unstructured, unchoreographed, non-linear dance, is that I don't have to do anything. I just sit back and let the music dance me. I let the music move me, because our brains are so powerful and we are naturally wired to feel the rhythm, the heartbeat of music. And so even if it's magical the way you can practice this and you can start listening to music and realize you'd have never heard this song. Whatever song, like you've never heard a song, but you naturally, your body knows what rhythm is going to come next, when the drop is going to come, and it's going to make you be like, oh, and you're going to move in a different way, right? So as you practice this and stop and really surrender, stop being so in your head about getting the move perfect or looking a certain way. But as you surrender to the music, you'll find that the music dances you. And it's like the one time in your life that you don't have to control things, that you don't have to do something a certain way for a certain person. You're just doing it for you. And so I thought if we could, maybe I have no idea how music sounds when I play it on my computer here and like play it on, I don't know how it'll sound, but maybe I'll play like one song and we could just together move our hand, because from there you can then start moving your hips, bend your knees and just start moving your hips, but maybe just your hand at first. And you can close your eyes. I won't. We'll just do like 20 seconds of a song and moving our hand. Okay, why not? Let's do it. 20 seconds, that's all. I'm just gonna push play on whatever song I had playing. It's called Underground by Slumberville. Let's push play, let's try it. Close your eyes, drop in, let's do this. And then I'll see if there's any questions after that, okay? So. First of all, just shake out your hand. Just shake out your hand. Woo! Drop into your body. And just move your hand. I can't help but move my hips. It just happens. Move your body any way that feels good. Okay, that's it. You know, it's a start. Like, just play one song. One song. Again, I don't know if you could hear that. I was playing Underground by Slumberville. There's so many amazing songs out there that are not the top. I mean, top 40 pop songs are fun, of course, but like, there's a whole world of music out there that's not the top 40 songs that you hear on popular radio. And they're so emotional, and they allow you to flow so beautifully. So I encourage you today just to do some type of dance that is my form of dance that I love, the unstructured, nonlinear dance. And if you are one of those people that loves the choreographed dance routines, that's awesome too. But I feel that the unstructured, nonlinear, out of the straight plane movement, just letting the music dance you, is so powerful, so therapeutic for your mind, your emotions, your body. You might cry, you might feel emotions coming out, you might help move them through, and it's so good for your pelvic floor. Our pelvic health depends on this type of beautiful movement, the breath, and then also the emotional release of doing this type of dance, because it's stress relief. It's stress management. And when we're stressed, our pelvic floor muscles are one of the first muscles to feel it and to tighten up in response. So we want to let them go, let them flow. And it's so healing. It helps you shine brighter. And it really will help you if you do feel rigid from life, from the news, from social media, from work, from your pelvic health issue, from any health issue, etc. Okay, so thank you so much for watching. I'll post this if you're just hopping in now and want to, rewatch the beginning. Let's see so Rocky Mountain Mama says, what music do you listen to? I listen to Spotify. I have a Spotify account and I love Spotify. This is certainly not a commercial for Spotify. I'm not an affiliate or in any way, but I love them because you can start listening, find some songs you like. So I don't know, they have tons of playlists that are curated, like the popular music, but also random playlists too. And what you do is if you like certain songs, if you add them to your own playlist, create your own collections, or just give them a add them to your liked songs. Spotify is super smart. And they will know, oh, that's the type of music this person wants to hear more of, and they'll play you more of those types of songs. So it's like this magical Pandora's box that you can just explore all sorts of new styles of music and types of music and artists you would have never heard of. There's so many talented artists on the planet right now that it blows my mind. So that's what I listen to. See if there's any other questions, because I actually have a meeting to go to in just a few minutes, but I want to see if I can. So Wakefield Vet, if you're still on, this was a while ago that you wrote. She says, "Hi, Bri. I listen to your pelvic floor relaxation video every night and morning. The best." Yay! Yay, yay, yay. I honestly don't know which pelvic floor relaxation video that would be, because I have a few, but for anyone watching, I do have a playlist on YouTube. I have lots of playlists. If you go to youtube.com/vibrantpelvichealth and go to created playlists and click on the words that say created playlists, that will take you to all my playlists. And I have one that is hip circles and dance. And granted, again, it's kind of like me showing you how to do certain things. But remember, like I said today, that's just a guide. Like, it's just basic guidelines. I don't want anyone ever to feel like I'm saying, I know best. My way is the only way. Because again, I think we're all natural born dancers. We all know what to do. And I also will say that in some of those old playlists, some of those old videos I've done, I'll say, I'm not a good dancer. I'm a horrible dancer. I'm not a trained dancer. I'm a terrible dancer. And I'm done. I'm done saying that. Because again, I don't want anyone else saying that about themselves. We're all good dancers. Inside, we're all dancers. So I have a dance playlist, but I also have a playlist for meditation. And I have playlists for pelvic floor relaxation and release. So I have all sorts of playlists for anyone interested. Yeah, somebody said, yes, we can dance. Okay, awesome. I don't see any other questions, which is wonderful, because I'm going to be going to, Little Italy 416 dances to Snow Patrol. Oh my gosh, I love Snow Patrol. What's that one song? They're probably their most popular hit. Anybody look up Snow Patrol. Probably the most popular song that will come on is so good. And it is like so emotional. It's one of those really emo songs that just gets you. Oh, go find it. Go find the song. Maybe I'll try to find the song before my meeting, but I'm going to go. So thank you for everyone for watching. I'm going to go to my meeting now, and I think I'm going to listen to Snow Patrol before my meeting. Okay, bye. Got to go to Snow Patrol.